Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of four documenting our journey to FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about term versus whole life insurance. I will share details on the pros and cons of each option, why we decided to get life insurance, and details on our policy with all the numbers like always, so please hang with me. We just got life insurance a few years ago. I didn't know anything about life insurance or why we needed it or what were the steps to get it. I heard an ad on one of the podcasts that I listened to, and the next thing I knew, I was applying for life insurance. Oh, we did our research, but don't be like me. Get educated first. If I could do things differently, I'd probably compare and contrast the policy plans, and I would have started earlier. My parents reached 70 this year, and estate planning, building a will, and life insurance has been mentioned, and the arguments begin. We aren't dying tomorrow. We will be here for another 20 years. Yes, that is true, but planning is also needed. I wish someone would have sat me down in my 20s and told me about life insurance. Now, I knew my employer was providing me with life insurance, the standard 2x your salary, but I didn't really know what that meant. I remember having the conversation with my husband right after I turned 30 about getting life insurance. His first response was, "Let's do it." He understood it immediately, but we didn't know what to do next. I can rattle off the top 5 brokerage firms you can research to open an IRA. I can rattle off the top 5 index funds you can invest in for long-term wealth. I know 4 top budgeting methods that helps with managing expenses, but I just couldn't name 5 top life insurance companies. I was 100% ignorant about the entire process. So we did a little bit of research to get the grounding of what we need to do next. So these are the 4 most common types of life insurance. I personally didn't know that there were this many. But like everything in finance, there are different types that fit different needs. So the first and most common is term life, followed closely by whole life, universal life, and variable life. The latter 3 are forms of permanent life insurance. Now, what type of life insurance that makes the most sense to you is based on your own personal financial journey. I know that there are many gurus who favor one form of life insurance, and I get it. But it's best to understand what may work for you may not work for another. And we all have different life circumstances impacting our choices. Okay, and for simplicity, let's focus on the pros and cons of term and whole life insurance. So term life insurance, or the most common type of life insurance, is very easy to understand. The pros are clear. First, you're insured for a fixed term or set years, usually 10 to 30 years, with 20 years being the most common. Your beneficiaries will receive a death benefit if you die during the term. Premiums are fixed and very affordable and can be discounted if paid annually. It's also very easy to understand and apply to get approved. These policies usually don't ask for a full health screening. But there are some cons. The coverage is temporary, or only fixed for the time term that you have selected, and it can be hard to extend the years as you age over time. Overall, though, this is the most common type of life insurance and fits most circumstances. But if term life isn't for you, there is always permanent life insurance, and the most common is whole life insurance. With whole life insurance, you receive a guaranteed death benefit and a cash value that earns interest over time and grows tax-free. You can draw from or borrow against the cash value. Premiums are fixed or locked over the time period. Coverage is also for your entire life and never expires as long as you keep paying the premiums. Think of this as 1 part life insurance and 2 part investment vehicle. As 1 part of your payment goes to the insurance component, while the other part helps build your cash value, which grows over time. But there are cons to this type of life insurance. Premiums can cost 5 to 15 times more than term life premiums, and whole life insurance overall is more complex. In general, other saving vehicles may have greater returns. For example, your money can be working harder in a traditional brokerage account versus this savings account. You can borrow or withdraw from your cash value amount, but if you don't repay the loan, you reduce your overall death benefit. And there is a high surrender charge if you decide to walk away from this plan. To better select the right policy for you, you have to understand why you need life insurance. What is the main purpose? Whole life might be better for parents with disabled children due to the long life payout. As long as you keep paying the premiums, you know your kids will receive the death benefit from your policy even when they're adults. Term life might be better for someone with no dependents and a strong health history. Find the plan that works best for you and your family. But get this, only 52% of Americans have life insurance. And according to US Today, 30% of Americans say they need life insurance but have yet to get it. This means more than 100 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured when it comes to life insurance. Now, I don't know what to make of these stats. They're very alarming. I will say personally, I can say within my close friends and family, only about 3 people I know have life insurance outside of their employer. It's really scary to think how unprotected they are for the unexpected. In my state, the average cost of a funeral is just under $9,000. And this is only one expense your family members would have to figure out, God forbid, if you left this earth earlier than planned. Life insurance can help clear debt, give those left behind a sense of financial peace, and most importantly, protect your family financially for the loss of your income long term. Okay, so here are our term life insurance policy details with Banner Life. We got our policy 4 years ago, so I was 30 and my husband was 31. We opted for 20 years and a $500,000 coverage. His monthly premium is just over $18 a month, and mine is just over $16. We pay our premium annually, which gives us a little bit of a discount, but key factors that played into our premium costs. First was our age. If we would have gotten life insurance at a younger age, our premium would have been lower. Obviously, an insurance company doesn't want to insure someone who's close to their term per se. Secondly, our genders play a role, as women have a higher life expectancy than men, so my rate was a little bit lower. There was also a non-smoking factor because both my husband and I don't smoke that was included, and we both didn't have to do a medical report, but we did have to answer questions about our health history, including our family's medical history as well. We are both fortunate that our families are relatively healthy. They did ask about our driving history and our current occupations to understand if we were in a high-risk job. Overall, the process was swift and easy, papers were signed electronically, quickly, and we were insured within a couple of days. Like all insurances, the purpose of insurance is to plan for the unexpected, and the unexpected, although grim, is death when it comes to life insurance. Here are some common benefits or overall purposes of life insurance. First, your coverage can be used to cover your funeral costs. If you choose burial or cremation or to be flown back to your family's plot abroad, your family will have the funds to handle whatever pathway you chose. Secondly, is long-term financial support for your disabled family members. This is a key benefit of whole life insurance. Also, with whole life insurance, small business owners can leverage the cash value account for business needs versus seeking support from banks. Most importantly, life insurance is designed to cover the lost income you would have provided if you were alive, so your family could maintain their current lifestyle through the core years. The coverage should supplement your lost W-2 income. Life insurance can also be used to help fund college for your children and pay off debt. And lastly, it's designed to protect your family financially from debtors or loans that might have been in your name that is still outstanding. I'm glad we got life insurance, even if it feels a bit late. I know that if either of us leaves this earth early, our family will be protected financially. So, if we could go back and get a new policy, we'll start our research by first going to NerdWallet and Policy Genius to easily evaluate insurance agencies against each other. After further research, I did notice that these top insurance agencies rose to the top. Although we didn't choose them because, well, we didn't do our due diligence, today I feel these agencies all have good offerings overall for both term and whole life insurance. Now, each agency has a unique specialty, so do your research after you determine what is the right type of life insurance for yourself. Overall, I don't think that $500,000 is going to be enough for us based on our current income if anything did happen to my husband or myself. I should have opted for a $1 million policy, and it would have probably cost just a few more dollars a month overall. That is why doing the extra research is a must. Our policy will be done when we are 50, and I'm okay with that timeline. In 15 years, I would hope, no, expect us to be financially independent to be able to tackle any financial headwinds that might arise. If I could go back in time, I would get the policy right out of undergrad and do 30 years with a $1 million coverage. What that tells me is that planning now for fire is even more important just to hedge against any unfortunate events. Both my husband and I are pretty healthy, and so are our families, and we live a very low-key life, so I don't see us running into any scary scenarios where we would actually see this $500,000, but obviously you just never know. But having it does give me a peace of mind, especially for my kids. My husband and I have had a conversation, although not fun, on what we would do if one or the other were no longer here, but it makes me feel better knowing that we do have a plan. I know we are covered and protected and should not worry about tomorrows, but it never hurts to plan, and that's why we got life insurance. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.